Hello and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my greenhouse. I'm preparing to go away for the half term, so I'm in my greenhouse. I'm just having a little look to see exactly what's going on here and what urgently needs to be done before I go, and basically what can be left. So right in front of me are my chilies and my sweet peppers, and they're the ones that I'm going to be overwintering in my house. They're going to be absolutely fine in the greenhouse while I'm away because there's no real cold weather forecast for London while I'm away for the next week or so. So I'm going to just leave them and I'll take care of them when I get back. I've got the two different varieties of onions that I started in cell trays last week as well. They're just starting to come up, so some of them have got some green shoots. They've all seemed to have roots forming. There's no rush to get them in. They can definitely do another week in the greenhouse before I'm happy to put them out of the plot. I also need something to cover them with at the plot, so I really don't want to put them out now because I'm just not prepared down there. They can definitely wait till when I'm back as well. So this corner behind me is where I really start to get a bit overwhelmed because there's quite a lot here and a lot of it does need to go to the plot. So I'm just going to go through it and see if anything's getting too big for the cell tray that it's in, and those ones are the ones that I'll take down today and plant. The purple sprouting broccoli has actually got roots coming from right underneath that really needs to be planted. So they're the ones I'm going to take today and get planted into the polytunnel. The rest of it is actually fine. They're all absolutely fine. And I do want to wait until they're a bit bigger until I get them planted. So they can definitely do another week in the greenhouse. I'll just make sure that they're really well watered before I go. I am going to take these strawberries though, because these strawberries are the runners from the strawberries that I moved from my plot to my garden. These are the extra runners, but to be honest, these could do with just going into the ground now, so I'll find a bed for them at the plot. So I'm just going to get these bagged up and I'm going to head to the plot now. So I've just got down to the plot and I've just been stopped in my tracks because the cosmos, it's all fallen over, but it is just looking so amazing. The colour is just popping at the moment. I just think that, you know, at this time of year when a lot of things are finishing, it's so nice just to see something still flowering and looking so beautiful. So as I was walking in, I noticed that the pumpkins that did make it this year are definitely ready to harvest. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and I've got a tiny little one there. And they are the Table Queen variety, and I've actually got another one that I planted here. So this was where my peas were, and I just popped my spare plants in there, and that one has actually come to something. So there's only one squash on there, but to be honest, out of all the squash that I actually did plant, it's only those few that have actually made it. So a harvest is a harvest, so I'm excited about those 5 pumpkins that I'm going to be harvesting today. Everything else is looking absolutely fine. The polytunnel definitely needs a really good clear out now. So this is the side that I did and I planted my garlic and mulch last week. This side here has still got tomatoes going strong. So I'm gonna harvest what I can from the tomatoes and probably freeze them as I'm going away. Harvest the squash that I've got, and then in the mini polytunnel, which is right here, I'm going to plant the rest of my garlic in there and the purple sprouting broccoli. And then I need to find somewhere for my little strawberry runners. I think I might plant them in this bed here and just maybe plant them around the edge of this bed, and then I can still plant some beans in there at the beginning of next year. So first things first, I'm going to get harvesting. literally just found this sweet dumpling as well. I mean, look at that. It is absolutely tiny, but a win is a win. So I've just come into the polytunnel to harvest some of the tomatoes that are ready to be harvested. And I've just had a look at where I mulched last week once I planted my garlic. And you can see here tiny little seedlings that are coming up. So before they become a problem and I'm going to have to start weeding them, I'm going to give it a quick hoe over there. I've done that relatively carefully because I did plant garlic there last week, so I didn't want to take anything off that might have been coming up. I think it is a bit early to have, you know, green shoots coming up from the garlic I've just planted, but I wanted to be extra careful, so I just gave it a really light hoe. So I'm now just going to harvest the tomatoes that are ready. I'm not going to take any of the vines down. They do need doing, but it's not a priority. I'm just trying to really do what really needs to be done today because I haven't got enough time to do everything. And I think that's the moral of the story. It's the moral of the video today. You can't always do everything. And I just try and do those little bits that I can do. I choose the bits that are most important to me and my garden, and that's what I do. That's a nice little harvest there. So these tomatoes are supposed to be like a yellow. They're I think they're called white something, but they're supposed to be a white yellow colour. Got my San Marzanos and a couple of other ones, but I'm really happy with that harvest. I mean, it's nearly the end of October and I'm getting a harvest like this. Okay, so I'm going to get the mini polytunnel opened up and plant in the purple sprouting broccoli and the rest of the garlic. Okay, so tiny bit of weeding that needs to be done in there, nothing crazy, and then I can get planting. And my question of the day today, I've just been talking about how I like to garden, so I try and prioritise. You know, we've all got busy lives. I try and just do where and when I can. How do you garden? Do you set aside a day where you prioritise jobs and, you know, tick them off as you go throughout that day? Do you do as and when? What sort of thing do you do? I'd be really interested to know how everyone else manages their gardens. Had a thorn in my glove, so every time I put it on it was stabbing me. So anyway, I've got that out now. So I am using a larger spade to dig the holes because I want to plant them quite deep because they have gone a little bit leggy in the greenhouse. That is the purple sprouting broccoli planted. Now for the garlic, but before that I have got a favour to ask you. If you're watching this and you're enjoying the video, please hit like. It means so much to me, and even better if you could hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed, because it just helps me and my channel get pushed further to a wider audience. If you also hang around to the end of the video, I've got a little bit of fun to get involved with. So I've got my Russian giant garlic that I'm going to be planting in this mini polytunnel today. I just want to show you the size of the cloves that I'm actually planting. They are huge cloves, so I'm really looking forward to these. Okay, now to get these strawberries planted. absolutely gorgeous day it has turned out to be. I've got so much done, much more than I thought I would. If you have stuck around to the end, I just thought we'd have a little bit of fun. Please write in the comments cabbages, because I really want to know how many people actually stay to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you again soon.